Welcome to the first episode of the Wasted Potential Podcast. I am Jarrell here with my co-host Cruel.
Damn right, we here.
All right. Well, as to not make this whole fucking thing boring, I think we should just jump right into that conversation that we were having last night about who we are, why we're doing this, etc. So if you want to kick that off, I'll just sit back and listen for a minute.
Well, shit, I'm cool. Basically, hold up, I'm on the street. Alright, basically, we've been rapping for a long motherfucking time. Got a couple hundred tracks, at least, a piece. Met a lot of snakes. Been a lot of places, done a lot of things. And we're just over it. We're sitting back watching the fucking parade go by. I'm tired of it, man. I'm almost 40 years old. Been rapping my ass off for years and years and fucking years. I got gray in my fucking beard and getting old and getting fat. And I'm just sick to death of watching these fucking kids take what the hell is ours. So, trying to find a new outlet outside of just the music. Like, just to know if, for some reason, it ain't happened yet. So, we believe, the podcast is like, might be a way to get our voices out there in a different way. Not just from music and shit. And just talk that real shit that people want to hear. Speak from the standpoint of a struggling artist, a white rapper in the game. Yeah, I said it. It's a struggling artist, period. Like the ups and the downs and the further downs and the further downs. Like it's a lot of downs, but it's just like yeah.
He said a lot of downs.
It's just like, man, it's a battle, man. I don't really think people understand the struggle with it because we're not blessed with a lot of talents. Most artists are not outside of what we're really fucking good at. And the one thing I'm good at is rapping, but never been a talker. I don't like talking that much, but I do feel that we're sitting on a lot of anger, animosity, and I'm letting it all out in my music, and it's just I'm still here. Our wheels are still spinning, so I think the podcast is a good way to just talk about our struggle, maybe possibly help other artists. Put all our minds together, and maybe we can figure out a way to get ourselves about this fucking hole and talk that real shit. Just talk that real shit. Piss a few people off in the process.
Absolutely. I like the idea of we're still here. I mean, and you said a lot there about the struggle and what we've gone through in the whole process. And I know I've been doing this for the better part of 15, 16 years, something like that. And man, it's exhausting, especially when you spend all the time that you spent kind of honing that craft. Because I mean, back when we started, it was all about lyrics. You had to have lyrics, you had to have content, you had to have substance to your music, and it doesn't seem to be that way anymore. Now, I'm not a harmony guy. I don't do a lot of harmonies as far as during verses and stuff. I might bust something out on a hook or whatever, but I can't sing to save my life either way. But a lot of these new people it's just harmonizing over verses, and that's fine and everything. I'm just not sure that I'm comfortable calling it hip hop, especially after all the years of hip hop being lyrics, of it being messages, of it being wordplay and metaphors and double entendres and the verbal Olympics, so to speak. And now you got all these songs that are, for a lack of a better genre, more R&B oriented, and it seems like they've taken over hip hop in general. Now, I remember back when I was younger, when we were younger, being able to turn on the radio and hear, Little John and the East Side Boys, and then it would go to Ludacris, and then you'd have an Eminem song on the radio, and there was just a good mix of all these subgenres of hip hop put together on one station, or every hip hop station, really. I don't want to say one station just to narrow it down, but most of these avenues that push hip hop have everything on one platform. So I'm not really sure what happened to that. And I think that's the biggest thing that bothers me, because it seems like a lot of the new stuff, the harmonization, the auto-tune, I don't want to pick on any artists, so I'm not going to say any names. But a lot of this, the harmonizing stuff just seems to be the monopoly of the music, and it's not. I don't think it's I don't think it's the fault of the artist more than it is what the industry is honed in on, and maybe it's because that stuff was making money. I don't know. I'm not a marketing guy, but my speculation would say that I would think that every subgenre would make money, right? So if you're just marketing one subgenre, see, that's the biggest thing that I don't understand when it comes to like the new radio, the new music platforms, everything that's pushing the newer music. And again, I don't have a problem with the new music. I listen to some of it. I like some of it. I know you're not a big fan of a lot of it.
Fuck no.
But I like some of it, and being even a fan of it, I'm still sitting around like, I can listen to a Young Thug song and then go right into something with a lot more lyrical substance and be fine with that. I just don't understand why it has to be monopolized by one subgenre. I guess that's my biggest gripe about the whole thing.
Right.
Because
it's just like when you said that, like you listen, you don't like most of it, but you do listen to some of it. And I thought about that a lot, but man, I can't. Cause I wish I could sit down and listen to music. I listen to music so different now. I think from being an artist myself, like every time, like I wish I could turn on the radio and just vibe to something. And it sounds like I'm hating every time I talk about this rapper, but I'm really not. I just, if you're not saying nothing, I'm like, I can't fuck with it. I can't rock with it. It irritates me. It's just, if you have no substance, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to transition into over into listening to the stuff that doesn't have as much substance, as many messages, as much lyrically as the stuff that we were used to growing up. And I think that's where the problem comes in, that I was saying, with the subgenres all being pushed, as this one subgenre gets pushed more than anything else. And it's frustrating for me, even as somebody that writes, lyrics and meaning and content. It's frustrating to me because even though I like this other stuff, I would still like to hear the content based stuff. I would still like to hear music with a message, and you don't get a lot of that. So I can definitely understand the frustration of not being able to sit down and vibe with it. I was very much like that a couple years ago. I don't know what changed, but somewhere along the line I was able to sit down and listen to this new stuff and enjoy it. So I don't know, and I won't say all of it. There is quite a bit of it that I still just can't stand. I mentioned Young Thug earlier. If we're talking about him, I think I listened to maybe 2 Young Thug songs, and the rest of it is just like, I can't do it. I can't vibe with it. And I know a lot of people. There's people on my Facebook that love Young Thug, call him the greatest. He's the GOAT to them, and it's fine. I don't agree with it, but it's fine.
I'm surprised there's any grass left in the world.
I was just thinking that when I said that, man. That goat term is thrown around so fucking loosely. It's crazy.
Unfucking real, man. Everybody's a goat. Why can't it just be just like it, man? Just like it. Like, I don't know, man.
You can be good and you can be great. I mean, not everybody has to be the greatest of all time. I 100% agree with that. I feel like that's one of them things that the term has been used so loosely that it's lost all meaning now. GOAT. What does GOAT mean anymore?
Yeah. I hear it. I'm a big sports fan, so I hear it a lot. With LeBron James. Like, everybody calls LeBron James GOAT because that's all they know. But I grew up in the Jordan era.
Right.
So it's not that I'm hating on LeBron, because especially now he's on my team, the Lakers and shit. But I mean, like,
right.
I don't know, man. It's like it's different eras, and you can't sit here and say, oh, okay, Jordan Lucas, he knows how to tell a story. Is he better than Slick Rick? Because Slick Rick can tell a story too. They just did it different ways. And
right.
I think it's literally impossible to sit down and say who's the best of all fucking time, because there's so many aspects of it. Who's the best storyteller? Who's this and that? Like, who's got the best flow? Who's got the best delivery? Who's the wordplay? Like, I think Eminem got the wordplay. I'm not gonna lie about that. The fucking whatever. But I just, it's so many. When you talk about hip hop, man, so many things that go into it. And just because these kids know these fucking rappers, all the Lils and all the this and that, I just wish they would dig a little deeper. and respect shit with substance, man. It's just so fucking frustrating.
Well, see, and I was talking about that the other day with my son too. We were discussing the MGK Eminem beef, and we were talking about the different aspects of the two diss tracks. Like you really can't. They're not the same artist. So a lot of these people have come in and said Eminem won hands down. I disagree with that. Personally, I think MGK won that battle because of the way that he went about it. Now, and I think a lot of people would, and I know a lot of people would disagree with it because a lot of people did disagree with it. I had a lot of people just attack me personally because of my fucking opinion. But when it came to that battle,
wouldn't be a stand, would
it? There's a few of those out there that definitely attack me on that thing. So what I was trying to explain to them, and when you're looking at a battle type situation like that, the way I was taught to battle, the way I've always battled, the way that any of my disses have come out either towards me or from me have been, you attack the insecurities, you hit them where it hurts, and you take your shots and you land them heavy punches. Now, understand that MGK's diss started out with "his beard is weird," which was a lame ass line. We all know it's a lame ass line. But the rest of his diss was attacking the things that we've, suspected Eminem of being insecure of the whole time. Things about his daughter, about his career, about being too high on the hill to not be able to connect with people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you go and you turn around and you listen to M's diss track, and there's a few punchlines in there or whatever, but the rest of it is, you want to be me and I have more money than you.
That's pretty much all I took from it.
Which is crazy. I mean, for somebody, I know you're not M's biggest fan. I'm not M's biggest fan, but for somebody that is so good with wordplay and with the disses he's done in the past on other rappers, like, you would think that he could come with something better than "you want to be me, I have more money, you have a man bun."
Right.
It's just crazy to me to think that the person that people think is the greatest rapper ever, that's the best he could do against a real rapper.
They're running around here saying he killed him, man. And just like downplaying anything you try to say on the behalf of what Kells did. And it's like, it's Eminem. So obviously it's just, he could fucking get on the mic and I swear to God, he could recite a Dr. Seuss book and they call it G.O.A.T.s.
That's no joke.
It makes no fucking sense to me. Like, yes, you listen to what the fuck he's saying. He's ramming his ass off. I give it to him. Never gonna say he ain't, but I mean, like, 45 years old, been in the game 20 fucking years, been called the GOAT for damn near all of them, at least half of them.
Yeah.
And you talk about a man bun, you talk about your money, you talk about how he wants to be you. And the hardest fucking shit I took from it was the line to Diddy.
Oh, about having Pac killed.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just and MGK brought facts. Like, he said some funny shit, like the beard shit and the real Slim shit. He can't stand up, because of the shit. It's funny shit, but he kept going back to facts.
Well, and I mean that's what I'm saying, man. It's really crazy to me that you have a generation of young kids listening to this music that Eminem seemingly has bridged this gap, right, from one generation to the next, and he's done it in different ways. Because when I was growing up listening to Eminem, he was the wordplay guy, he was the lyricist, he was the funny guy, he was the snapping on every track guy, the "till I collapse," shit like that when the music stops.
The underdog, man, the white boy that ain't supposed to be doing and saying that shit.
Right.
I put Eminem CD in the car and I rolled the windows down. I be jamming like a motherfucker because I'm like, damn, this dude's speaking for me. Like, okay.
Well, I think since we're on this topic, and we both at one point were Eminem fans, and I guess I don't want to dive too deep into Eminem as far as spending a whole lot of time on it, but since we were both bigger Eminem fans growing up, where do you think, where was the turning point for you? Where did you decide, okay, this is not what's it anymore? I don't know what the hell this is. This isn't him anymore.
With him,
Yeah.
probably with the when he got the drugs, I could tell like with the accents he kept rapping with and shit, and just like the goofy shit. Like I kept listening, and I know every fucking track I heard Christopher Reeve's name. You know, like
So around Encore era then.
yeah, Encore was decent, but yeah, it was around that. And anything after that has just been downhill to me.
See, and that's where I attribute the turning point. I attribute Encore as the turning point for me. Like, that was the first Eminem CD that I was genuinely excited to get it. It came out, day it came out. I went to the mall, bought the shit, put it in the car, turned it on. First couple songs, great. And then we get into these accents and goofy and Big Weenie came on, and I was like, what in the hell is this?
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I could tell. I could hear, I guess, the drugs, or I could hear just the different, like, the hunger was gone. It was like, okay, I've said everything I can say now. I'm just going to prove to y'all I can rap my ass off.
That it was like a really weird phenomenon to hear this guy go from killing shit on the Eminem show, because let's be honest, front to back, Eminem show is probably one of the greatest albums he's ever done.
My two favorite songs, man, White America and Soldier.
Yeah, I mean, I can't, when the music stops till I collapse. Soldier's definitely on my list. You know, that like I said, that album front to back is a killer project. But then you jump into the next one, and it was like this crazy turning point. So, and then it became like a pop thing with Recovery. And everything after that's been kind of poppy up until Kamikaze. And I just feel like he bridged the gap between these generations with changing his style, but I feel like he also alienated those of us that were there for the first 3-4 projects.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. I mean, to me, the real hip hop is no. With this last little beef, I don't even call it beef because it ended too nicely to me. I think Kelly should have came back and just fucking did his thing, but I get why he didn't. I guess because he's probably looking at it like, really, dude.
Well, and that's what he said on that Breakfast Club interview. Like, it was like, why do I even need to come back to this?
That was a good fucking interview.
I did too. I really hope that in his case, and we can jump over to MGK now. I really hope in his case that he takes that advice with the drugs and everything, because it would be really, with what happened to Mac, rest in peace, Mac Miller, first of all, with what happened to Mac, I think a lot of these younger guys that are out here taking drugs and just doing this shit high off their ass, which might be where their musical inspiration comes from, but you guys really got to be careful with that shit. I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody how to live their life, but honestly, the pills, the crazy drugs like that, it's not worth it.
No, it's not. And I didn't know MGK had a problem like that. I didn't know he was into that shit. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised, but I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm old school, man. I drink. I love my beer, and that's about it. Like, I don't pop pills. I don't smoke. I don't do any fucking thing. I don't. If that's what you do, that's what you do. I'm not gonna fucking, But I mean, like, it's just that's all it is nowadays. Like these pills and these. It's like I don't know, man. It's like I listened to the State of the Culture shit the other day, man. One of the topics came up about this. And Remy Ma was talking about that. It's like every fucking track you listen to. I wanna die. I wanna die. I'm so this and I'm so that. It talks about pills and every song.
Yeah.
And it's like they can't. I don't know if they can't function without it, or they feel like they can't be artistic without it, or I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe it's the home life, and it's just I don't know. But I mean, it's pills, and it's just like it's taking so many fucking artists. I mean, look around, and it's a problem, man.
Well, coming from somebody that used to have a pill problem, because I had a pill problem a little while back. We talked a little while back. We're talking 2009, 2010. Well, no, just 2010. I think 2010 is where it got really bad, and I continued with it. I was doing them back in 06, 07 as well, but come off, and it wasn't so much of a problem back then. It was recreational in 06, 07. It really became an issue in 2010. And one night I had taken enough to kill a fucking horse and barely felt it. So that was the turning point for me. That was the wake up point for me in saying, okay, this is A, it's getting expensive and I didn't really have the money for it. And B, it's not natural to take a handful of pills and not feel anything. So I really wish it, and for me it was that easy to decide, okay, I'm done with this. I need to move on. And that's not to say that recovery was easy. That's not to say that coming off of it was easy. I mean,
but want that the light, like that was your life, and that was things you were dealing with, and your demons you were fighting shit. But I don't recall you putting it in every fucking song you put out. I don't. That's why I don't understand. Like if you're dealing with those things, that's fucked up, and I'm sorry for anybody that's gonna deal with that shit. And it's like, why you gotta put it in every song too? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, if you go back to that time and you listen to the songs that I was doing back then, they're definitely dark.
Yeah, I'm sure the content is there. I can tell by the content probably. I can see where you were mentally. It'll come out in your music, but you ain't sitting there trying to tell every kid to listen to your music, the pop song.
Oh
It's
yeah, no, there
crazy.
was no advertisement or glorifying it and that's what you get a lot of nowadays. Oh, I take this many pills a day. I'm on this. I remember back when I was younger hearing Joe C say 80 pills a day, bitch, I ain't bullshitting. And my only thought back then, listening to him, and I know Joe C had a lot of medical issues. Being a midget, small person. I don't know what they prefer to be called. I don't need to offend anybody on that front, but
Vertically challenged.
there we go. We'll go with vertically challenged. So being somebody with that, the medical problems that came along with that for him, I can understand him taking an excessive amount of medication if it was prescribed to him. But I got the feeling that it wasn't just a prescribed thing. So
That was a cool little motherfucker too.
yeah, no, definitely. And rest in peace to Joe C as well. But
Yeah.
you know, eh, I don't recall anybody's music outside of maybe a select few really glorifying the pills. Obviously Eminem was a part of that with
Right.
purple pills with D12.
Right.
Um, so you did have a select few in our youth
Right.
that
Yeah.
that that were throwing that stuff out there, but I think we all understand this is I think where the disconnect or at least the difference between the generations is. I think we all understood back then that was a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And most of the people that were glorifying it were like, yeah, we're glorifying it, but it is a problem. It's an issue. You shouldn't be doing this shit. It's nonsense.
Yeah. Now they fucking laugh about it.
Well, yeah, or hey, I need this to function, and I think that's the unfortunate part. I think that's where you get situations like a Mac Miller. If indeed it was an accidental overdose, the guy, I'm sure he knew or thought he knew how much he needed to take or should have taken or whatever, and then next thing you know, he's gone at 26. That's
Yeah, it's
it's
a damn shame, man.
yeah, it's unfortunate. The guy, he's a talented kid. He obviously had a lot of impact on hip hop, and a lot of artists have talked about how great a guy he was. You never really seen him not smiling or not having a good time. So I don't know.
That's the weird thing. I didn't really listen to much of this shit. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, that's the weird thing that I've taken from it. Like every artist that I've seen speak about him, they say the same thing. Like he was always happy. He was always cool. He was cool with everybody. Like he could just chill with anybody. And it's like that. That's scary knowing that. I mean, look what he did. Look how he went out. He obviously had some fucking demons, but maybe a lot of the world didn't see that. And I know that shit runs deep, man. I know it's scary, and I'm not gonna get into too. I ain't gonna get too deep on y'all, but I mean, like, I battle shit too, like with my drinking. And I ain't gonna lie, when I'm sober, I'm a fucking asshole.
Well, I mean, and
Like,
that
I
is what
just,
it is.
yeah, it's like I don't like I drink a couple beers, calm my nerves and shit, and it's like, okay, and I prefer to write with a little buzz. Not that I can't do it sober because I have, but I prefer like to calm myself down because I'm so high fucking strong. I'm always You know, it's never a little, so not many woosah moments in my fucking life.
I don't have very many of those
You
myself.
know, my wife tells me every day, you know, I'm wound so fucking tight. You know, I'm just an asshole, and I got a lot of shit that I deal with too. And I understand having something to relax, you know, make you relax and make you not think about so much shit and this and that. And I just, I don't know, man. Demons are a bitch.
Well, the problem is, or the problem comes in when you decide that you can't function without that thing to relax, without the,
You know, that's the
you
thing that
know,
scares the fuck out of me, man. If I ever get to that point, that's what scares the shit out of me, man. I think about that all the time.
well, and that's why you got to be careful with substances like, you know, even with like alcohol and weed. Yeah, I mean, alcohol is it can be a very damaging thing. Obviously, it's caused a lot of problems in the past for people. Um, Weed, they advertise as being basically harmless,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think that I agree with weed being absolutely harmless. There are definitely a lot of medical benefits. There are definitely a lot of recreational benefits. There's, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
a lot of good studies, you know, based on what cannabidiol is good for, and you know, the what THC can treat and what CBD can treat. I don't want to get into all that, but even so, if you're high all the time
mm-hmm.
and you're never facing, you know, when you come down, there's going to be psychological effects.
Oh yeah,
So like with me in nicotine, I don't really do anything other than vape these days, but when I don't have that, boy, am I an asshole. You know, it's like if I don't have my nicotine for the day, everybody needs to stay the fuck away from me because I'm just gonna be a prick the whole day, and
right.
motherfuckers like go vape, go smoke, go do something. Get the fuck out of here, Jay. You're terrible, but you know it is what it is. I've quit it, had it, you know, anxiety attacks, withdrawals, panic attacks.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't realize what your body's doing or what your brain's doing when you start doing something
right.
like that. You know, you're creating a chemical dependency on something,
Yeah, some scary shit, man.
and when you don't have it anymore, you know, your body's gonna go, what the fuck, what are we doing? You know, why are we not doing this? It's the same thing with me, and even going to the gym, man. If I skip the gym for a week, my body's like, hey, what the fuck, get off your ass and
Yeah,
do something.
it's like, man, my wife, you know, I'm obsessed with sports, man. I've said this before, but that's all I do is listen to music, write music, watch sports, and listen to sports. I listen to sports radio. I ride down the fucking street listening to AM, you know, ESPN radio, like whatever, wherever I can find sports.
Right.
And I can't even go to a fucking sports bar because I can't go to a sports bar and not drink a beer. And wifey's like, well, why can't you, you know, go drink, you know, a couple beers and come home, you know, watch the game, drink a couple beers and come home. Well, it's just not that easy with me. Like, once I start getting a little buzz, I'm like, all right, I need one more. Before I know it, you know, I'm 12 in and I'm feeling good and I'm talking shit, you know, it's just,
Right.
it's just some scary shit, man. And I just encourage everybody out there to, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I encourage you to do. I don't fucking know. I don't even know.
Find
Yeah.
find help. Find help if you need it. If you need it, and you have to be. I think you have to be conscious enough to understand
Pills,
when
man.
you have an
Pills, you
issue.
gotta go. You just gotta go. Like,
This stuff is more powerful now than it has ever been in the history of pharmaceuticals, and I think that's where the issue comes in. Is that these pills in particular, and this is a crazy topic for our first podcast,
we all over. We all over the
but
motherfucking
the
place.
pills.
We all over the motherfucking place. Fuck.
The pills in particular, they're much stronger these days, and so you have people that, you know, get hooked a lot easier because if you're taking a lower dose, and that's some of these lower doses are shit that would have been considered a stronger dose back when I was younger. You know, I look at some of the dosages of that these kids are taking of shit like Xanax or well, I used to take Valium back in the day, but Xanax and Vicodin and, you know, whatever. I don't even know what's out there to be honest with you anymore. But
Right.
I know it's stronger than the shit that I was taking,
Right.
and they're taking 2, 3, 4 times the amount that I would have ever dreamed to take. I would have thought I would have died.
Yeah.
So
Crazy shit, man. They're chopping it up and snorting it.
yeah,
All kinds of shit. I mean, I've, you know, I've taken a couple Vicodin with beer. I ain't gonna lie,
I've done
but
that too.
like, and it's like, but I can't. The shit these kids are doing, man. I don't know. Like, you ever had lean? You ever drink the lean shit?
I have not ever done lean, no.
I ain't never done it. Man. I've been around people that have done it. And I've seen it done. I never did it. It's like I never understood. Like,
I can sort of understand the appeal or the idea of the appeal codeine cough syrup. It's gonna lay you back. You're gonna relax a little bit. But these,
my stomach
it,
hurt watching a motherfucker drink it. Like,
yeah,
I don't understand that shit, man. But I mean,
it's all about the amount, man. I mean, if you're going crazy with the amount, and I guess that's what sums up all this stuff is everything is okay. I don't want to say everything, but most things are okay in moderation.
oh yeah. Everybody should see Lil Wayne with the solo cup.
Yeah, I mean, and it fucked up. How many times was he in and out of the hospital with seizures?
Yeah.
I was just talking about this yesterday with Zach. Actually, we were listening to the Carter Five, and we were talking about artists because XXX is on the Carter Five.
Right.
He is on.
Yeah, I heard a clip of that.
Don't Cry, I think, is the name of the song.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful song. It's right after the intro. It's about I think it's about Wayne's mom and because if you listen to the intro, he's talking about. I haven't really had time to sit down and really break it down, but I did listen to it, and you could hear. And here's the crazy thing with XXX. I didn't really listen to his music before he passed. I heard clips here and there of like the older stuff, the video where he's like hanging in the video, and I don't remember the name of the song, but it's the one song that everybody kind of went crazy over. I just didn't hear the appeal. But as I'm sitting here in the car and I'm listening to Don't Cry, you can hear the emotion, the connection to the music in that kid's voice in that song.
Right.
And it really made me sad, even though I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a big fan of the stuff that he was doing either, the things that got him in trouble. I feel like there was a lot of demons that kid was definitely wrestling with.
Yeah.
However, I don't think the way he went out was fucked up.
Yeah, it was.
I wouldn't. First of all, I'd never wish death on anybody, but the way he went out was fucked up. And sitting there listening to this song, Don't Cry, almost made me cry because of knowing the story, because of knowing what happened to the kid, because of hearing that soul, the soul in his voice when listening to the song. So I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. All I know is that I think, much like the Mac Miller situation, I think that we were robbed of somebody that had not yet reached their greatest potential.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
So, and the street shit isn't funny. You got guys like Tekashi out here going fucking crazy and doing stupid shit in the street all the time. I think he's calmed down a little bit, but he was out there in Chicago taking videos and shit and talking shit on video, and it's entertaining. And I sat back and I watched it, and I even enjoyed it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I didn't.
I just find it hard to be intimidated by somebody. If every time I look at you, I just laugh. I can't get past, like, every time he smiles, it's like taste the rainbow.
The rainbow hair and teeth.
Yeah, I think he got the white shit now. I think he got white teeth now, just regular teeth. I don't know, but the hair, all that, man. You come across you can't come across so damn fruity and expect the world to be scared of you. But
I think he did that shit on purpose. Honestly, I don't think he's hang on, sorry. I don't think he's like, I don't know. He brings himself across to be this, big time gangster, and I don't know 6ix9ine to from Adam, but like you said, it's hard to take somebody seriously as a threat if they're running around looking like 6ix9ine does, and I think that's part of the intention on his part.
Like,
I think
like Pac, Pac said the two back in the day. That Pac said, "When I see you, I'm see you." Like he told you what's up. You can go fuck. Pac was fucking around. if this dude just twirls his hair a little bit with his little rainbow colors, is like, he gives you a threat. I'm laughing, man.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with laughing in that situation. I think you would be. I think you would be well. I think it would be well understood as to why you were. But I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's part of the appeal with Tekashi is that he looks so ridiculous. But you listen to. I don't know if you've ever listened to his music. I have. I even enjoy some of the songs that he's put out, but they're almost as live and as animated and as ridiculous as he comes across. And I guess that's what I like about the kid is that everything that he does sticks to this character. And I don't know if that's who he really is, but he's really good at playing a character. And I think a lot of these kids are in that same thing. And they see people like Tekashi.
Got a hell of a following. I know that.
Yeah. I mean, millions of people on Instagram, and I'm sure his music does well, and the kid's getting paid. So, but I think that's what the appeal is with a lot of these kids is that you got this larger than life character that he's playing, and everybody's like, oh man, he's so his music is crazy. He acts crazy on Instagram, this and that. But I would the one thing that I would proceed with caution about when you're doing something like that is that if you never turn it off, then when are you ever being authentic?
Yeah, true.
And this is not to speak to 6ix9ine. I don't like I said, I don't know the kid from Adam. He could be everything that he says he is. But if you are playing up a character, if you are playing up this larger than life character, and you're running around doing everything for attention, when is your shut off? When do you take some time to you? I think that's been the big thing, and even with my name change, going from vice versa to just my government name to Jarrell, I think the whole point there in my head was that I didn't want anything separating my music from who I really am anymore.
Right. I need that.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with having a rap name or an alias.
Right.
I think a lot of people do that just because it was given to them or it's something they've gone through. Like I know you've always been cool, right? So you found a name that you like and stuck with it, and that was just what. But I think for me, it was one of those experiences where I'm sitting down and I'm doing the Sav Life album, and I feel like every song that I'm doing on there is who I am. Is personal. It's got a personal connection to me. Like even back up the one that I have you featured on. That's kind of a callback to my little Jaybird days when I was such a fucking hard-headed, fight anybody dumbass. I don't, ain't nothing wrong with that either. I mean, you get down how you get down, but I think when sitting down and working on the album, I just felt like, hey, you know what? A lot of these songs have a personal connection to me. They kind of cover an entire era as far as being my entire life, and not even thinking about when I named it Sav Life that's what it is. That's just what I feel like. Life is savage and vicious. So I'm covering all these eras of my life without even really thinking about it. So it was the next logical step for me. But that also it makes the music my release. It makes the music what I do for myself, and I guess that's where I'm drawing the contrast line between somebody like myself or you and somebody like 6ix9ine or Uzi or Yachty or any of these these new kids that are out here running around getting a lot of attention and playing up this role or this character. And I'm not saying that it's not really them. All I'm saying is that you can't always be larger than life. At some point in time, you're just a person.
I feel that, man. I don't know, man. I guess I think about it sometimes. Like if I ever would have made it, like I'd be a serious problem. Now, just the fact that I wouldn't need security. I wouldn't need, to do this and that. I ain't no, I gotta be seen kind of guy, and I gotta be heard kind of guy. I let my music do the talking. If we got a fucking problem, we got a problem. But like, I see so much, man. Like, I'm trying to stay on topic a little bit with the 6ix9ine shit, so I use him, man. I'd be like the tough guy shit. Like he's had beef with with the game, and a couple dudes, like, you
Yeah.
know, older cats that you shouldn't be, talking that kind of shit to. But he's still here. Ain't nothing happening to him, and this and that. Like, I just I take my music so personal. It means so much to me. And if you fucking with me and you put it out there, and you're my competition. You're in the game. I'm in the game. We do this. Like, if I see you, it's going to be a problem. Now, I got kids and a wife. I'm not going to go looking for you. But like, I want, like, this term seems to be pretty popular now, so I'll say it. But if you got same energy, like, you got. I believe that. Like, if you're gonna just shut the fuck up. Like, if you ain't about it, shut the fuck up. So, like you said, he could be about that shit. A lot of these cats, they could be some hard asses. I don't fucking know. But like, if I was known, well known, and I was out there and I had my face out there, I was doing my shit, and I was at shows, knocking out shows left and right. And, you know, you a tough guy. You gonna, like, okay, we cross paths, so we can have a motherfucking problem. I don't need this and I don't need that. It's just gonna be a problem. So I like to take you at your word. So and when you say something, I expect you to be about it. And I just, the shit that a lot of these guys say, man, it's just, I don't know.
It
It's so
is.
fucking out. It's so outrageous. It ain't like the 80s and the 90s with the gangster rap. Like, we knew them dudes were about it. You couldn't even have award shows like East versus West. Like when Snoop Dogg was beefing with whole Death Row, they got the East Coast and the West Coast shit.
Yeah.
You know, and like that, well, that was beef, man. Like these motherfuckers, couldn't even show up to award shows. It's gonna be a war out of this bitch.
Yeah, it is
And that,
interesting to see the difference now.
yeah. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of this tough guy shit. I don't know. I don't fucking buy it. But
I guess that's what I'm getting at with the whole not having alias without with the larger than life, the animation. I feel like we come from an era where the rappers, when they said they were about something, you knew they were.
yes, man.
Like, nobody was wanting to fist fight with Cube. Nobody was wanting to fist fight with NWA. Nobody was wanting to fist fight West Side Connection. Mac 10, Dub Seed, Snoop.
And look,
Dre.
to this day, all them Disney ass fucking family friendly movies that Cube has made, you think anybody still gonna fuck with him? Nope.
Oh, I still ain't volunteering for that ass whooping.
Yeah, because yeah, because he spent his whole career, music career, putting it out there like he want the one, no, you knew he,
Yeah,
just I don't know, man.
you really you had these groups, these pockets of rappers, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Cypress Hill, like. Yeah, we laugh at some of the music that they made, but boy, do you not want to step in the circle with one of them guys.
I don't know, man.
So, and I guess that's how I've always kind of portrayed myself as this is who I am. This is what it is. It's not just tough talk.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just an asshole, people. Like, I really am. Like, I try not to be, and it's hard. I guess I should probably see somebody. I know that. Like, I
well,
should sit down on the couch and talk about my problems. I know I'm to that level. We all got problems. But I
I'm
just,
I'm gonna tell
I
you
don't
what.
know, man.
I'm in therapy and I still get called an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a level of therapy out there that cures I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
It's and I guess that maybe we should be putting that on Instagram. Maybe that should be the handle right there. Wasted potential is we're just a couple of assholes. We go around picking fights with everybody.
Yeah, fuck it, man. They already call us fucking old
Play
heads. What they call us, old heads. We're haters.
old head
You can't
haters.
you can't have an opinion or tell the truth nowadays. You're just an old head or you're a fucking hater. That irritates.
Speaking of that, I want to address what we were talking about last night with Lord Jamar,
Mm-hmm.
the white people in hip hop thing.
Right.
Now, I respect Jamar's opinion, and to a degree, he has some. Like I said last night, there's some validity to what he's saying.
Yeah.
But boy, does that not piss you off. I mean, when we're sitting here talking about, I spent 16 years in doing this. Well, it's actually been 18. So I've been writing lyrics for 18 years. When you sit around and think about the majority of your life being spent writing, contributing, learning the art form, perfecting your side of it, perfecting your approach, your methods, and contributing to, is that not building the house?
Yeah.
Is that not putting bricks into, if you are, how do I say this? If you're following the formula of how the house was built, if you're watching the framing, which we're both old enough to have grown up in the framing era. You're watching the framing of the house. You're watching the materials being used. You are paying attention to the formula of how it's being put together. If you are following that formula, if you are throwing some bricks in the wall, if you are putting up some studs, if you are putting up drywall, if you're painting,
and we went to Home Depot too. We got the good shit.
Yeah, well, most definitely. Yeah. We took a ride over to the fucking hardware store and bought some more nails and screws for you assholes. Like that's where my fucking issue comes in right there. No, I wasn't in the beginning stages. I was too fucking young to be in the beginning stages. But you know what? Falling in love with an art form and then doing that art form in the way that it's always been done, and following that formula and perfecting upon that formula and keeping up with it and staying in the culture and staying informed, as both of us have done. It's crazy for me to sit around and hear a motherfucker say, "Oh, white people are a guest in the house of hip hop." No, you know what? People that come in and try to change the decor are guests. People that come in and take a shit in your bathroom sink, that's a guest. If somebody walks in this house and decides that my curtains are wrong and comes in here and tries to change my curtains, I'm going to punch him right in the motherfucking mouth. Don't touch my shit.
Don't walk in my house with your fucking shoes on either.
Right. And I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like, you can't, first of all, if this was a problem, it needed to be a problem way back when, right? It needed to be addressed when you had people turning this into a pop genre. Not now, oh, white people are the problem. It's not white people are the problem.
Tell me, who's turning it pop? I hate to say it, but I mean, there are, like, I guess Macklemore. There are the softer, radio-friendly rappers, G.E.Z. I know he's got I think you fuck with G.E.Z. and shit, I think. But, like, but, like...
well, some of his stuff.
I mean, I don't know, to me, I find that very disrespectful too. And I do fuck with Lord Jamar on a lot of topics, but a lot of shit I don't like. This one, hell no. Like, to me, the people that are guests in hip hop and need to be booted the fuck out are the ones that are turning it pop, the ones that are making it about whatever it's not supposed to be. Like,
well, I guess that's where I'm coming from here. Is like it almost like I don't want to say appropriation, because that's a word that they like to use when you're talking about white people acting like black people, and I'm not going to get into all that, but when we're talking about specifically about this music genre, specifically about this culture, specifically about this lifestyle, I can put my life up next to Uzi Vert's life and tell you which one's a hip hop lifestyle. I can take my life and put it up against Macklemore's life and tell you which one is a hip hop lifestyle. So and I'm a fan of Macklemore, just to put that out there. Yes, he's a poppy rapper. Yes, I get it. But at the same time, you can't let this genre become something else and then get mad when it's become something else when you've been quiet the whole time. When's the first time we heard from Lord Jamar? Is when he called white people a guest in the house of hip hop. Like, where the fuck have you? How disconnected? And here's my thing: how disconnected do you have to be to decide that white people are the problem?
Yeah, that's very true.
If you
And
want to talk about the white people that own the businesses, that own the labels, that run the shit, I'll be 100% on board with you.
yeah, Paul Rosenberg, Jimmy Iovine, you know, like there's a lot of fucking snakes out there and a lot of guys that come along and are ruining this shit and make it what it's not about. But I'm sorry, like if you come in here and to me, like you said, like that was a good comparison, like building the house and shit. Like if we just come in here and we talking bullshit and we just here to say we're here, and you can tell, but like you can tell that kind of guy. But if you bring in shit, if you got some substance and it's an art, man. It's like you either got it or you don't. And it's not that hard to me. Like if you can spit, I don't give a fuck what color you are. Like you can rap, you can rap.
Yeah, I guess that's a
Why
remarkable thing for me
why the
too.
fuck ain't we past that in 2018? Like he's very out of touch with that statement, man. I don't fuck with that at all.
It, I don't. I'm gonna say this without getting too deep into this topic because we're not gonna get political and shit. At least not right now, anyway. At least not right now.
Definitely
Anyway.
not on the first one.
But yeah, let's not go down that route for the first one. But with the idea that it's just split along color lines. There's a lot of crazy shit that has happened over the last, we'll say 4 years, 5 years, that have made it very obvious that racism is still alive.
Oh yeah.
So there are a lot of crazy things, whether you agree with the causes, with the hashtags, the different political movements, whether you agree with all those things or not. It's come to the forefront that there are definitely still a lot of racists out there, and racist on either side. You've got white people that are racist against anybody with any bit of pigment, and you've got people with pigment that are racist against. Well, I don't want to say racist against, but think all white people are the same. Think all white people are bad. Is that racism? That is racism, right? So yeah, we'll just keep it simple. There are people of color that are racist against white people, and it's remarkable to me because growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in, it was a little bit of everybody. There's white people, black people, Mexicans. We all went to the same school. We all went to the same parks. We all played basketball together. We all hung together. So that's never been a thing for me. Like color's never been a thing for me. So I guess that's where it becomes offensive. Maybe I'm out of touch a little bit because I don't experience the racism that somebody might experience, but at the same time, I feel like my view is one of a very progressive view when you're not looking at color and you're just looking at skill, or you're looking at, like, I'm not judging somebody by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. It's a famous quote, but
like, what would make somebody like him say that? Like, what? So what are you saying? Like, why do you think we're guests? Do you think that white people don't struggle? Do you think that white people can't rhyme? Do you think that I don't really like? I don't know what he means by that. Like,
yeah, I think some clarification would have definitely helped his point. Because I'm at the same thing. Like I think the reason that I was so offended was for the fact that I just stated that I grew up in a neighborhood that was not a wealthy neighborhood. It was not a nice area. I was out doing things that I shouldn't have been doing at the ages that I was doing them, or at all for that matter, but especially at the ages that I was doing them, because I was right in it, elbow to elbow, neck to neck with these guys, with black guys, with Mexican guys, with people of any color, and so it was offensive to me because I felt like he's saying, well, you guys haven't been through the struggles that we've been through. Like, hey, I was right, you know what I'm saying? I was right there in it, but at the same time, I can understand that, no, I haven't experienced the type of racism they have, but what does that have to do with hip-hop? You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, if you could spit, you could spit. I'm not I don't give a fuck what color you are. I don't give a fuck what gender you are. I don't care what your personal. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're gay, straight. I don't care about any of that. If you're a lyricist, if you could spit, if you're dope,
Right.
I just want to hear you spit.
Right.
You know, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about in your music. I don't care. You know, if you're a gay, the only thing I can say is if you're a gay dude, probably don't talk about sucking dick. Like, it's fine if that's what you want to talk about, but you're not gonna connect with me on that. But if I felt a little awkward hearing Cardi B say it on the beginning. What she say? The only time I fix my tongue is when I'm sucking dick, and I was like, man,
Yeah,
I was rolling with you until that line. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. We're back. It is weird. It is weird to hear those different topics in hip hop. So yeah.
I don't know, man. I honestly think that I don't know, man. With like I don't know, man. I think it's the complete opposite. I think he's so out of touch with that, man. Like you got guys like Jelly Roll. You know, I see what him and Struggle are doing. And it's like a lot of guys out here, man, that have a story to tell. And I'll be goddamn if they're gonna listen to somebody say you don't belong because your skin tone. It's I don't know, man. I think that's a very weak ass argument. I don't think the people. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think people. I don't think the people that have been in the game long enough, like him, and like the people that have been around so long, like the legends and the whatever you want to call them, and the old heads. I think they should put more effort in to attack this issue with where rap is right now with this pop shit and all this stupid weak ass shit that's going on. I think they should be more vocal about it. Like, what's wrong with saying, "Hey, I don't fuck with this dude. I don't fuck with that dude. Yeah, you fucking rap up, man. You fucking rap up. That ain't hip hop. Like, you don't belong here. Like, where,
Yeah, it is. It is kind of weird to have so many people not willing to speak up for the genre that they claim to protect.
Yeah, just keep letting them shit on
like, it's like what we were talking about last night with Joe being the media guy now. You know, his seemingly unwillingness to step behind the mic and attack these guys that are attacking him. Now, I don't think he needs to come out of the door for every dude that's going to say his name.
Right.
But there are people that I would love to see him go back and forth with. I would have loved to see an Eminem Joe Budden battle, but then Eminem wouldn't be brave enough to say anything to pull him out of retirement. I'd love to see a Joe Budden Sci-Hi battle.
I don't know what's up with that shit, man. Sci-Hi challenged him to a fucking, what was it, put up 500,000?
Isn't it? This is what I was saying last night on Facebook when you posted about it and tagged me in it. Isn't it funny how once Joe retires, all of a sudden everybody wants that smoke with him?
So many of them, man. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's crazy. It's crazy that you call yourself, and it's dudes that can really rap. So it's crazy that you call yourselves real rappers and that type of thing. But then you attack a guy who's not rapping.
And it's funny, man. Everybody want to say, oh, this person killed Joe. This person killed Joe. Joe ain't shit. Pump it up. Pump it up. Joe ain't shit. You act like just a couple years ago, this motherfucker won 1/4 of the slaughterhouse.
Well, and look at the brutality at which he hit Drake.
Yeah.
Now,
killed that motherfucker, man. He was killing that motherfucker, was it 2 summers ago? I don't know, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was like, what, 4 or 5 tracks? I mean, he was just going in.
Just destroyed his shit, and Drake didn't say a thing. And then everybody was like, oh, well, he said that pump it up, pump her up fucking line, whatever the reference to pump it up in the song that he did with, who was it, French Montana or whatever, like.
Yeah, everybody goes to that pump it up shit. Like, come on, man.
That was super weak, and even for Drake, that was super weak because we turn around and seeing how quickly did he hit Meek.
Yeah.
You know, you refuse to step up to the plate when it's Joe, but when it's Meek, hey, I'll go ahead and hit him with back to back. Like, what the fuck is that, man? I really felt like that was a moment for hip hop. I felt like that was a moment for these beefs to come back and people to get, because you got Drake and Meek, you got Drake and Joe, you got you know, the beefs that were going on there, and then nothing, you know, all crickets after that was done. And then everybody
Yeah.
was exclaiming how this Eminem MGK thing was going to be the revival of beefs, the revival of beef in hip hop, et cetera, and it's not.
I'll tell you, that was a good week too, though, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a great week.
I thought, man, I was like, here we go. Finally, somebody kicked this motherfucker in the nuts.
Well,
You know,
I think the biggest problem is you don't have enough actual rappers in hip hop.
no, and everybody's always worried about something. Like I think, I don't want to speak for Joe because Joe's my favorite rapper. You know,
Right.
I got so much respect for the man, but I know he's got his hands in a lot of shit right now, and I think that's what holds him back. Like it always seems like something's always holding somebody back from saying what they want to fucking say. And I don't. To me, as an artist, man, sooner or later, Joe got to be like, all right,
The power of the bag. We're gonna call it the power of the bag.
that's got to be what it is, man. As an artist, like, come on, man. I don't give a fuck if I ain't rapped in years, which I don't know how that will ever happen. It's always gonna be a part of me. I'm always gonna at least write.
Right.
But I mean, he made a living off this. This is how he's feeding his kids. This is how he's feeding his wife. Like, I guess him and son are married. I don't know, whatever. But this is how he provides hip hop, and he's got the platform he's got now because he's fucking Joe Budden. Like, and, you know, he's got all the new music shit and all the mixtapes and, you know, the Slaughterhouse shit. He's toured the world. I mean, this dude is a beast. The storytelling, nobody can fuck with Joe. You know,
Yeah.
and I just, as an artist, I just don't know how long he can keep sitting and letting these motherfuckers push him like this. Like, I don't know, man. This Sci-Hi the Prince shit took me off guard because, you know, Sci-Hi is a beast, man.
Well, and they show a lot of love to it, and not even just on the podcast over there, but in general, Joe is showing a lot of love to Sci-Hi. He's always talked up Sci-Hi.
Yeah, and the post I seen was like he said something about that because they're clowning him on the podcast. I ain't heard them clown it. I don't get that.
I didn't catch any of that either, and I think that either it's a hearsay thing and Sci-Hi hasn't really listened to the podcast, right? Or it's a case of somebody being too sensitive.
Right. Which a lot of them are.
It seems that way. It really seems that way because I could sit here and make a joke about you hit me up doing about doing the podcast early today, and I'm over here baking cookies like a bitch. You can sit here and crack on me about that. I can sit here and crack on you about some other shit. We walk away knowing it's all love. There ain't no fucking problem. But it's like the minute that somebody says some shit about somebody else, that like if I speak up and say something about another underground rapper and clown him for doing something corny, or say something about something he did that I don't agree with, all of a sudden I'm a hater.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a problem. Now we got a problem. It's like, grow a fucking pair of nuts, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable to me the amount of censorship that some of these artists put themselves through. It's completely fucking unbelievable. I remember what was it, fucking 5-6 years ago when you and I were going back and forth on the radio. 7 years ago we were going back and forth on the radio with each other. Then you had your the week on your underground radio, where there was a couple days that after we had our little beef that you said what you said, I had my day on the radio where I said you know what I said about the situation, and yet here we are doing this podcast. Here we are doing musical projects together because we're able to look at that situation and go, okay, it ain't nothing real. Like, there was no disses exchanged. There was no physical altercation exchanged. It was just two men having a fucking conversation and going, okay, this ain't nothing. That's what's missing in hip hop. That's what the fucking problem is. That's where you get a lot of these guys who want to be sensitive and diss each other and do this sneak dissing shit. But then when it becomes something real, it's all peace flags. Like, I don't want to say I don't know about you, because I do know about you. I was ready to go to war back then, and you were ready to go to war back then, and it was fixing to be something fucking ugly.
Yeah.
But one conversation, and here we are.
Crazy shit, man. don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah,
Pussyfooting.
yeah.
call it what it is. Pussyfooting. It's a lot of pussyfooting
Yeah,
in this
man.
motherfucker.
And a lot of motherfuckers that try to talk for us too.
Fucking, I'm gonna do the Joe Budden thing here. Talk about it. Let's talk about
Yeah, I mean,
it.
motherfuckers love saying my name, get me involved in shit. I don't know. There's a lot of people. Like I've come across so many fucking people, man. They seem like they're out for my best interest and shit. They want to push my music and they want to, support me and do this and that. And the first opportunity they get to talk shit, they talk shit. I'm like, okay, I just it used to,
Snakes in the grass, my
yeah,
friend.
it used to bother me back in the day. I used to get hyped, and like, fuck you, motherfucker, nah, let's go. Yeah, now it's like, whatever. I'm almost 40. You want to talk about it. But don't expect me to,
Well,
I ain't gonna kiss your ass, and I know what you're about now. So
maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem with some of these rappers out here.
yeah,
Maybe they feel the same way because you do reach a point, right, where you're just like, you know what, this is nonsense.
yeah,
Because I feel like I reached that point myself. Like, and I'm 32. I'll be 33 here in a few months.
all right.
That's really not that old. Even 40 is not that old.
No,
So it's like at a certain point though, you reach a point where you're like, okay, arguing over this trivial shit just isn't
right,
for me. And so you get a lot of people around you that just want to, like you were saying, you get a lot of people around you that just want to see
yeah,
drama. And when you're in your 20s, you're early to late, your teens all the way through your fucking late 20s, you're so quick to jump on a beef. You're so quick to jump on a
yeah.
confrontation.
Like you got so much to prove, man. And now I'm like, all right, motherfucker, just go play on some of my shit. I mean, I ain't gonna prove shit no more. I'm not gonna let you round me the fuck up. Anybody, like, I ain't too my own horn, but anybody that I've been up against, I beat them. I've got like, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you can say the same thing. It's like, okay, so what do we do? It's just
I've only ever taken one loss, and the one loss that I took was to a kid where we were battling for
right,
fun. So in a situation where I generally liked the guy, he generally liked me. We were cool with each other, but he was battling everybody, and he was like, "Hey, I want to battle you." And I told him back then, I was like, "Hey, man, I don't really have a problem with you. Like, I don't know what the bet." He was like, "No, no, I don't have a problem with you either. I'm genuinely a fan of what you do, but I want to battle you. I think." You're a lyricist. I like the way you write. He's like, I would assume that you're a fan of mine. I was like,
right,
yeah, I like what you do. And we just kind of arranged this little battle, and everybody was like, hey, look, man, you had some good punchlines and stuff, but he
right,
killed it. He got it. And I'm sitting over here listening to this motherfucker's track, and I'm just dying. I'm laughing because he fucking murdered me. I had nothing, man. Like, it was like, well, can't really argue with that. You made some good points there,
yeah,
bub. you know, but in general, yeah, I can't really sit around and as an artist, even I think even if I did take a loss as an artist, I don't think I could sit around and be like, yeah, I definitely lost.
man. It used to be fun. Like nowadays, nobody wants to do it. Like go back and forth, and may the best MC win. Like nowadays, it's like everybody they do everything in their power to avoid a diss track. Oh, I'm not. You ain't. You just trying to get big, or oh, I ain't gonna waste my time on you. I got shows I'm doing, or I got this going on, or I got that going on. I ain't worried about you. But like, kill the whole sport of this dead. It really is.
It kind of seems that way. It kind of seems like everything that we built, and I guess this is where I start feeling out of place because everything that was built underneath us, everything that we built up, it just seems like none of it matters at this point.
All right. I know, man. I don't know. So much shit we're gonna touch on this waste of potential podcast.
we gotta get that. We gotta get that little tag. I gotta get that tag from you after here, so we can throw it on the beginning. I like your little wasted potential.
Let me get nice and drunk, man. I'm gonna send you a couple of things, man. I do a good A-Rap voice too. I really do, man. I'm a stupid motherfucker
Oh,
sometimes, man. I'm pretty good with the accents and all kinds of stupid shit,
we are never getting a Spotify deal over here.
man. Yeah.
Oh, it's all good though, man. And I think it's important to let everybody know that's going to listen to this or that is listening to this right now that I didn't jump into it for money. Cruel sure as hell didn't jump into it for money. This is just us, man. I feel like there's a lot of untouched opinion out there, and like you were saying, it feels like everybody's afraid to just really say what it is that they want to say. So that's why we're here.
Yeah. Talk some real shit, man. And this is the first one, so we've been all over the place, and this we talked about a bunch of shit. But I mean, like, if people want to listen to us touch on certain topics and shit, like whatever's going on, or there's no real direction, just whatever.
We haven't really had a direction on this one, and I kind of have really enjoyed the fact that there is no direction.
Yeah, I prefer it that way. Fuck it, just wing this shit.
I
But I mean,
definitely
like,
I definitely
whatever's
don't
going
want
on in
to.
it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I definitely don't want to address all the same shit and say the same shit over and over and over, which I think we can avoid. But
But,
even with that, throughout this whole experience, this whole first one, we've pretty much covered the topics we were going to cover.
yeah.
We covered the Hi Joe Budden thing. We covered independent hip hop. We covered beefs in hip hop. Like I like the
Yep.
non-format format.
Oh yeah.
So I hope everybody out there that is listening has enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed doing it, because it's been a blast.
Hell yeah. Next time we're gonna do it even better, man. Just keep working on this shit. Nothing's off limits. That's the beautiful thing about this. So ain't no telling what the fuck we gonna go next.
Well, and we got that page on Facebook for anybody looking for the Wasted Potential podcast on Facebook. There is a page out there where you can follow us there. Um, Obviously, this will go up on YouTube. It'll go up on the SoundClick. I'm not going to tell you what the addresses are, because if you're listening on one of those two platforms, because that's kind of stupid. But but everything will be linked out and everything will be there. I really hope people. Speaking of which, I hope there's some feedback too. I would like to see some comments. Leave some comments about either about what we've talked about, or something you want to hear us talk about, because I'm always down for suggestions from people outside to make this thing better.
Oh yeah. I second that.
So
So
with that being said, is there anything else you want to cover before we wrap her up?
fuck bitches get money. I'm just playing. I don't know.
Oh, hold on, man! You starting to sound like these rappers now.
God
Oh,
damn it,
at least
man.
you didn't mention pills and lean. We're all right.
Yeah, I just encourage
All right.
everybody, just whatever you're doing in your fucking life, just stay real, man. There's so much fake shit going on, man. Just keep it 100. Do what you're fucking doing. Just stop being so fucking phony. And because if you're phony, we can talk about you on here. So just tune in.
Hey, that's some real shit too. The phoniness out here is outrageous. So yeah, I'm a second that, and tell you, just be your fucking self. It's not that hard to be you. If you are a corny motherfucker, be a corny motherfucker. Boy, I say some of the corniest shit ever to women, to have them motherfuckers laughing and having a good time. And I do some outrageous shit, but every time I do something, I do it with the intent of being myself. And I think if everybody took that philosophy, then the world will be a little bit better place. And like you just said, if you're out here being corny, we're probably gonna talk about you on here.
Yes, we will.
It's gonna be a case like we were talking the other day. It's gonna be a fuck your feelings type of situation.
Oh yeah, don't get it twisted, and we're gonna close this shit out. But just because you won't mention in this podcast does not mean your name will not come the fuck up. Because I can give a fuck less. I'm sure my co-host here, second that. we just right now we
Absolutely.
just putting our toes in the water. We just feeling this shit out right now. But it's gonna be good. So I encourage everybody to tune in, tell your friends, tell your motherfucking people, sit back, pop a cold, listen to us talk shit. But
There is one more thing though. It's pretty important. You ready for this? If you want that motherfucking smoke, I am not just a media guy. Cruel's not just a media guy. You gonna get that motherfucking smoke, baby.
yes, you will.
It's gonna be what it is. But thanks everybody for listening. Leave some comments. Let us know what you think. You know, you can get a hold of us. There's contact information on these sites. So hopefully you tune in with us every week. We should have new one up every Monday. If something changes, we'll let you all know ahead of time. Look for the Wasted Potential podcast on Facebook, on SoundClick, on YouTube. Google that shit. Hopefully it'll come up. We're gonna get this little marketing game online up a little bit to get out to a larger audience. But thanks for joining us, everybody.